Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another State of the Market for September 2022. First and foremost, I want to say uh, that everybody in Puerto Rico and Florida, our thoughts and prayers are with everybody there. Devastation like you wouldn't imagine. For those people that had to go through that. I can't even imagine it. So I just want to say that our thoughts and our prayers from everybody here at the Zaino Realty Group to everybody there in Puerto Rico and Florida, and hope things work out for the best. I know it's got some rebuilding to go, but that's unfortunate, and we have to all move on and progress. But again, our thoughts and prayers are with everybody there down there going through that a horrific hurricane. State of the market for September 2022. Let's get right into it. I am going to share my screen here with you, and as usual, cover you with the four quadrants. And we're going to get right back into it here. And we're going to start off with our first quadrant, which is median sales price. So median sales price for September was 650,000. We like to go back 3 months. So August was 650 and July was 653. So it just went down about $3,000. So the average the median sales price here for Cape and Islands, that's from P-Town to Plymouth, is still hovering around $650,000. The next quadrant we want to cover is active properties. So this tells us how many listings are available to buy, right? And it gives everybody an idea of how things are going and how many properties are out there to choose from. So we like to go back to 3 months. So let's go back to July. It was 720 active properties. That's houses, land, and condominiums. That is not a lot of properties. For anybody who's just tuning in, has never seen a state of the market video. Normally we cover about 2,000 units, and I'm going to share that with you right now. On this screen here, I spread it out a little bit. So right here is March of 2020, so right before COVID. We were about 1,900 units. Okay, here we are today at 726 units for September. It was 723, so we went up 3 whole properties from August, September. In July was 720. The next quadrant we want to talk about is your days on market. So again, the last 3 months. So July was 7, August was 8, and we're climbed up to 12 days on market. So is that a lot of time to be on the market for your house? That's very, very little time. Not all houses are selling in 12 days. Let me just make that clear. So this is an average. I'm seeing a lot of properties go pending that are under 600,000. And if they're clean and priced right, etc. If they're not, then they're sitting on the market. I see houses that have been on the market for 100, 125 days too. So the average is 12 days on market. And on August, it was 8. So it went up those 4 days. And in July, it was 7. So still very, very low. So all the sellers out there that are thinking about putting their house on the market, yes, it's still a great time to list your home, and it should sell quickly if it has been priced right, promoted right, and it has been presented right to the public. And then the fourth P, those are the 3 Ps. And then the fourth P, which is the current market, which I've added, which is patience. We need to have a little patience in this market. Just because a house doesn't sell in a week or two, like it has been the last couple of years, no need to get worried. As long as you're doing what you're supposed to do as the seller, and the agents are doing what they're supposed to do as far as presenting and promoting the property, networking the property, things like that. So the 3 Ps, we talked about that before: price it right, promote it right, present it right. And now the 4th P, patience. Okay, need a little patience. All right. So the other quarter we want to talk about here is our months of supply. So we're sitting on 2 months of supply in September. August was 2 months. July was 1.9. Scott, what does that all mean, 2 months of supply? What that means is if no other properties came on the market today, we would run out of inventory in 2 months. And that is a seller's market. So we've talked about that before. So under 4 to 5 months, that's a seller's market. 5 to 6 months is like a neutral market. And then greater than 6 months is a buyer's market. Now, the last time that we were in a buyer's market, which was right before COVID, you can see this 4.8. You can see this here, 6.0. In September of 2019, excuse me, it was 6 months, all right, months of supply. So that was putting us in a buyer's market. And then it went slowly, it shifted down. And then right into COVID here, March of 2020, there was about 4.6 months of supply, which was, kind of a neutral market. And then, of course, houses started flying off the shelf and inventory was getting reduced and people were gobbling up houses like crazy. And so now here we are today. It's sitting at 2.0 months of supply. Okay. The other item that I want to go over with you today is just your percentage of list price. So what this tells us is if you put your house on the market, say for $100,000, what should you expect to get? So September, you should expect to get 100% of that price. Again, if it's priced right, promoted right, and presented properly, okay, the 3 Ps. So if you're asking 100,000, you should get 100,000. So that's for September. August was the same, okay, and then July it was a little higher. So if you listed your house back in June or July, you should have expected to get on average, according to the stats, 101.6%. So here's the thing. Right before COVID, right here, March of 2020, I remember it very clearly because it was just around my birthday. The average list to sale price ratio was 97.5. So if you listed your house before COVID for $100,000, it would be safe to say that you would get $97,050 for it, right? Does that make sense? Yes. Today, we're at 100%. Now, back in June of 22, sellers were getting over 103%. Okay. And then the other high point was June of 21. So June of 21, everything was going over asking. Then there was a little flat spot there. It picked back up in 22. And then now we're back to about 100%. So still very good news for sellers. If you want to put your house on the market, there's a good chance you're going to get 100% of sales to list price ratio. Excuse me, as long as you got the 3 Ps there. All right. All right. So that takes care of it for our information here from Flex. This information that I'm sharing with you is for right off of our Flex MLS, which covers Provincetown to Plymouth. And so the next slides I want to go over with you are this one here. So let's talk about mortgage rates, right? Everyone's talking about mortgage rates and the Fed's raising the rate. So we want to go and talk about those a little bit. So today, as of today, if you're out there looking for a 30-year fixed rate, this slide was the beginning of September, which is 5.66. I just checked before I came on, and that current rate today is closer to, let's see, we're 6.5. All right. So just in the last 30 days, it's gone up like another point. All right. Let's talk about this here. So let's talk about where mortgage rates and their projections are going. So today we're currently sitting around 6.5. These are the players who are given the projections: Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae, MBA, NAR, and then the average. So these are the average of what they're thinking for the next few quarters. It's very hard to predict interest rates, but this is what they're doing. Today, based off the 6.5, they're thinking that the first quarter of next year, interest rates will be maybe a little lower at 5.2. And then the third quarter, Freddie Mac is at 5.2. At the end of the day, the average is they're all thinking that the average interest rate is going to be somewhere between 4.8 and 5.4. We'll see how accurate that is. But today, we're currently at 6.5 for a 30-year fixed mortgage. Okay. So for everybody that's thinking about the mortgage rates, they're still very good. Not as opposed to what they were before at 3.5%, 4%. We may never see those rates ever again. So somebody was telling me, marry the property, marry the house, and date the rate. Right. So you buy the house, love the property, move in it, enjoy it for what it is, take the write-offs. The interest rate is a little higher than you'd like to see it today, and perhaps you could refinance it down the road when the rates go down a point and a half, or maybe even 2 points, and refinance the house. So the housing is just going to keep going up. That's just the way it is, and that's just a fact, right? So let's talk about here number 5. So at the end of the summer lull, as mortgage rates stabilize, we may see a return of buyers in a relatively strong fall housing market. I'm seeing houses that are going under contract extremely quickly, especially here on the Cape. If there's 600,000 and under, okay. So anything that's good, quality home, that's presented right, promoted right, priced right, is going under contract. I see in 5, 7, 8, 10, 12 days. So very, very quick amount of time. Not as quick as we've seen in the past couple of years, but still very quickly. Once you start getting over $1 million and $2 million and $3 million, things change a little bit. But anything under about 600,000, I've been amazed to see how quickly they've gone under contract. All right, let's look at number 8 here. So we're talking about the market as far as what's happening with it, and a lot of people saying, "Oh, I'm going to wait for the market to crash," and I don't think that's going to happen in my opinion. But what we are seeing is appreciation is slowing, but we're not depreciating. So here's some of the appreciation numbers that have been out over the last a year or so. So in January, the houses were appreciating here about 19%. In February 2021, these are outrageous numbers. Normally, your house appreciates between 3 and 4%, guys. So these are big, big numbers here. So as of July, their home price appreciation was 15.8. I'm thinking that that number at the end of the day is probably going to drop to about 10% appreciation, which is still 3 times the normal amount. So that's why I'm saying, if you really want to buy a house and take advantage of it, 10% appreciation is fantastic. You can't get 10% anywhere with your money. So pay a little bit more for the rate, get your house, jump in, enjoy that appreciation of say 10%, and then refinance down the road when the rates drop a little bit. Does that make sense? All right, let's talk about number 16 here real quick. So these are monthly. I wanted to show you the screen for everybody that was waiting. This is a monthly mortgage payment of what they were, say back in just, let's see here. Let's talk about, so April of 2020, right before COVID, if you bought, say, I'm going to just use this as an example. If you bought, say, a $500,000 house and your payment was $1,000, today that same house would be $1,944. Okay, because the interest rates have gone up. So every time the interest rate goes up, your buying power goes down. Yes, down about 10%. So the rates have gone up in easily 2 points since 2 years ago. So it makes sense. Okay, so that's why I'm saying, try not to wait to buy a piece of property if you can, because if the rates do keep going up, guess what? The mortgage payment is going to keep going up. And that's the last thing we want to do, is see you pay more if you don't have to. All right. Let's go on to number 19. So here's a couple of things that you can do if you're looking to buy and you just haven't found the right house for you, or the house is getting a little bit too expensive in certain areas. Expand your search criteria. So what I mean by that is instead of looking at, say, 2 or 3 towns, maybe bump out your search criteria, bump that out to maybe 4 or 5 towns, go a little wider from the city or go a little wider from where you'd like to be. And perhaps those prices are a little bit less and you can still capitalize on buying a house. So expand your search area and your criteria. Explore alternative finance options. A lot of people looking into adjustable rate mortgage. You hear that term ARM. So explore alternative financing options. If you need someone to go over your financing and you want to look at some alternatives instead of a 30-year fixed or a 15-year fixed, maybe you might want to do an adjustable rate mortgage. The rates tend to be better, and you can perhaps get that dream house that you're looking for at the lower rate. So if you're looking for someone to help you and get pre-approved, by all means, please give us a call at 508-566-0051 or shoot us an email at sjzaino@gmail.com. The last screen I want to go over with you here is just number 52. And that is this one right here. And then I just wanted to show you, again, the months of inventory for homes for sale. So this is nationally 3.3, which is still a seller's market. Anything under 4 to 5 months is going to put you in the seller's market bracket, like we spoke about. And then anything between 5 and 6 is neutral. And then anything over 6 months is a buyer's market. So that wraps it up for today. And I'm going to just go back to my screen. There we are. So just want to say thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in to another session of State of the Market ending September 2022. If you like the information that we've put out for you and find it of value, please give us some thumbs up, share it with a friend or somebody that you know that might be looking and want to know a little bit more about real estate and what's going on with the market. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon. God bless. I'm out.